So, hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, a recovering Democrat Saadiq, and we are live. We were not live earlier, and I want to say I apologize to those of y'all who were watching it, and I was frozen because as I said that, I just looked outside and it was like pitch black, like you could hardly even see anything, and it was just so weird because before that, it wasn't. It was fine, and then nevertheless, our power glitched. It didn't go out because you see, I'm here. It glitched, and yeah, we had some hail. It was a lot. I was scared that it was gonna bust some windows. It did not. And it was like kind of scary, but our lights stayed on, so I guess that's a plus. But nevertheless, we are here. It doesn't look like it's gonna rain anymore. So I should say the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we are great people, but we can always try to do better. Like I said, big giant thank you, welcome, and hello to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are participants and you are family. And sometimes we share the link. All I ask is if I share the link and I have not seen you on here before, if your profile looks like this, please show me this. And then you could go back to that if you feel comfortable. Just know that only I can see you, not even Donovan, until I bring you up to the big screen. After I bring you to the big screen, then yes, everybody can see you. If you want to have your profile blanked out or you want to be on here live in the living color like Donovan and I, that is your choice. The other thing that I ask is all of us, please, let's be respectful in the comment section and up here. Let's try not to call names. To my beautiful moderators, I love you, love you, I love you. All I ask is that unless people are just acting like a donkey, they're just doing the most, like they're unbearable, they're calling names and all that kind of stuff, don't block them. Don't put them in timeout. Here we want everybody to have their own opinion because that's where the conversation is with differing of opinions. We may not like everybody's opinion. Hell, y'all might not like our opinion, but we're entitled to it, right? So let's try not to block people and put them in timeout and all that other stuff. So today we're going to have a conversation because I was struggling. I was like, what the hell are we going to talk about? I called Donovan and we decided we was going to talk about the WNBA players accused of hating on superstar player Caitlin Clark. Of course, Donovan is a WNBA aficionado. I've been to a couple of games with him. I was a season ticket holder to the LA Sparks. So he knows what there is to know. But the other ladies have been accused of hating because she seems like she's getting preferential treatment and all of those things. So I'll get into it just a little bit more. But in the meantime, who's on here? Sparkling for Jesus, Lynette, Troy, Soto, how you doing? Nasty Dealer, all right now. How you doing? Steven, what's going on? Tell your wonderful wife who said hello. Yes, power came back on. Avenge the ancestors. How you doing? And your average logical thinker, how you doing? Donovan, what's going on with you?
Man, you guys, if you guys saw our last podcast, that we'll call it the Blackout podcast, I was getting in Demetra's. I mean, my points were hitting. She calls herself a master, debater, and she just couldn't handle it. That's why God stopped her and cut her off because it was you guys missed it. It was a great show, great debating, and that's what it's about. It's about just throwing ideas out and doing what you have to do. And again, if you guys were here for Sunday, we had a person come in to be a disruptor. I call them disruptors because what the Democratic Party is doing, they are paying people to go into chats and disrupt the conversation and redirect it to where we're not talking about things that we should be talking about, like reparations and economic development and student debt forgiveness and things like that. So for the mods, if you guys do me a favor, whenever somebody comes on, it's very simple. All you got to do is go to their profile, look at their profile, and if their profile has nothing on it, they're paid agents. So paid by the Democratic Party. Isn't that strange? Why are they attacking? Most of you guys, I would say, would be Democrats, or at least you were born Democrats. And that's what the Democratic Party is doing. So before you check them, go check out their profile. If there's nothing on their profile, then take appropriate action from that point. But welcome to the Demetra K Show. We're glad to have you guys back. This is an important topic because, yes, I am a WNBA aficionado. And do us a favor. You got that scrolling banner at the bottom right there. If you guys want to go ahead and donate, that would really help keep the show going and motivate the content creator to keep making great videos. Also, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app and check out Brother Phil Scott podcast. He usually comes on at about 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, sometimes even earlier than that, but I know I catch him about 7. Also, the African Diaspora News Channel app is not app, but the show is going to Ethiopia. I think there's 23 seats left. So if you guys want to go meet Philip Scott, possibly Demetra K, fellas, if you want to go meet Demetra K in a hot Ethiopia where she's got to wear those shorts, that's the way to do it. So that's one way you guys can do it. You can meet up, chop it up with her, and ask her questions and comments and all kinds of stuff. And then you're on the continent of Africa, which I think is a great thing. And you're actually in Ethiopia where the real Jews actually live. You know, brown skin, looking like us, not like these cave dwellers type people. So remember that. Yes, Caitlin Clark is interesting topic. A lot of people have an opinion about her, and she did beat for her first win. Of course, she did beat my LA Sparks for her very first win, and she was lighting it up toward the end of the game. So Demetra, let's get into this and let's see. And ladies, you guys need to be in this conversation, because the problem with the WNBA, number one, is the fact that women do not support it. So let's get into it.
Hello, everybody that came on here. Okay, so let's get in for the second time. So this conversation is actually going to start off that of Charles Barkley. You guys know that he's and I'm sorry if I'm freezing a little bit, but I'll stop freezing in just a second. He is a NBA a superstar in his own rights, right? Okay, so this conversation started off with him, and this is what he said originally about all of the backlash that is going on with Caitlin Clark in regards to the other WNBA players. Now, we know that Caitlin Clark has been accused of getting preferential treatment when she's a number 1 draft pick. She's getting a lot of money. She's getting private jets, and sounds like other teams are starting to get them now, and just a whole host of other things that the ladies were not getting before. So let me read to y'all what I learned on Essentially Sports as I looked. Okay, so this is what he said originally about the other women hating on Caitlin Clark. Okay. Says, you women out there, y'all petty, man. Y'all should be thanking Caitlin Clark for getting y'all A's, private charters, all the money, and the visibility she's bringing to the WNBA. So basically, he says, y'all should stop hating. Now, per Essentially Sports, they say during an TNT inside the NBA broadcast, Barkley stated that the WNBA athletes should be thankful to Clark instead of being petty. He pointed out the fact that the WNBA was ready to invest $50 million over the course of the next 2 years to provide charter planes to the WNBA teams, something that hadn't happened before. Says all that he attributed to Clark's presence, since the WNBA would be minting more money than they had done the previous seasons. Now, they also go on to say the average ticket price is $175, while last season was reported to be around $95. So another important thing to note is that all this has happened while Clark hasn't been able to match the NCAA president she had set. She has a record 15.4 points per game with 5.4 rebounds per match. This is quite lower than the 40-point game she used to have in college basketball. With this, Barkley clarified what he had said before. So then he doubled down on from an interview that he had recently, and I'm gonna get into that. But this is also what they said. It says, with the emergence of Clark, the New York Liberty got their highest. That's who. No, she plays for the Indiana Fever, right? Okay, so this says, with the emergence of Clark, the New York Liberty got their highest revenue, securing a record of around $2 million in sales tickets. Clark, all 5 games have been sold out, while WNBA sales are up 93% from last season. The Indiana Fever is recording 13 times more ticket sales than the last season. Moreover, Fever has the highest ticket price as per Axos.com. Now, this is what Barkley said about her performance, and he said this yesterday, I guess. So I guess everybody's kind of acknowledging that she's not playing so well. The last time I looked, I think she had it was 1-7. They won 1 and lost 7. I don't know what it is now. That was Friday when I looked. So he says this in regards to how she's playing. He says, so she's got those women on private jets now. Is she the best player? No. She's not the best player in the WNBA, but she's a shining star. 90% of her games are going to be on television, I think. I don't think the WNBA did her any favors. The team is not going to be very good. That's just put too much. They just put too much pressure, and that adds to the jealousy. Also, to be honest with you, but the eyes and attention she brought to the game, give that lady her flowers. Now, it should also be said that a whole host of sports pundits, if you will, a lot of them brothers, have said, I've heard people call some brothers call her the GOAT. Although I've heard people push back like, okay, wait a minute now. You know, she's, again, the best player. The other ladies are jealous. They need to, as he said, give her flowers that they're hating. But you think about the other players. Let's take, for instance, with her when she was playing in college. She didn't win any championships. And from what I understand, she didn't even win any high school championships. So she hasn't won any championships to this point, although sounds like she was good. I would say, admittedly, have not watched one game at all of the stuff that I've read. But then you have somebody like Angel Reese, who was, I think, the 7th draft pick. She has won a championship. You have Don Staley, who's the coach over in South Carolina. Sounds like they had to share the White House visit with Caitlin and her team, which it sounds like that never happened before. Basically, the losers getting ready to go. So, yeah, a lot of ladies in the WNBA is like, it's not right. So it sounds like, too, that they're kind of playing really aggressively with her. I've also heard some of the sports pundits say, they basically roughing her up. They're playing too hard. And I'm like, well, you want them to take it easy on her? I don't know, So I guess I have 2 questions. And Donovan, I know you're going to come with your opinion. Why is all the brothers caping? Not all the brothers, but a lot of brothers. Why are they caping? Because I will say this, because you always say I never offer my opinion at first. I'm going to offer it right now. I don't care what it is. White supremacy, they find a way to stick together. And let's keep it a buck. We only know a lot about Caitlin Clark due to, remember that? Remember when Angel Reese did that, and everybody and their mama lost their mind. Oh, she's mean. She did. But then they showed all the videos of Caitlin doing it to her. But Caitlin got to prominence. I'm not saying she's not good. I'll take y'all word that she's good. But she came to prominence because of out of racism and hate for Angel Reese being mean to her. That's how white folks really jumped on the bandwagon and started big up in Caitlin Clark, right? So what I'm saying is they don't care what they people do. They're going to be lockstep right behind them, not right beside them and cheering them on. But the sisters, and there's a lot of other women that aren't sisters in the WNBA. Why do they got to give Caitlin her flowers? Why not them get their flowers? It was Aja Wilson, I think her name is. She's been in the league, it took her 10 years to get it. It took her 10 years, from what I understand, to get a shoe, right? Obviously, Caitlin's getting the shoe and all that. She's got already, but it took her 10 years. And Aja said it herself. Yeah, it's because she's white that she's getting all of this special treatment. So I'm going to let it alone at that point. Donovan, I'm going to get to you guys' comments.
All right. A lot of stuff that you said there was very factual. And, again, we live, I don't know where everybody thinks that they live. Last I checked, I lived in the most racist country on the face of the earth. So I'm not surprised by any of the special privilege. But let's just do this. The WNBA has never turned a profit. And remember, any other business would not have existed over 25 years. The WNBA technically should have closed within 4 years of its existence. They are a welfare league, right? So let's look at it from a business standpoint and see, this is what I hate when it comes to our people, especially our, the jealousy with the women and stuff like this, because you got to look at it from a business standpoint, because because even the NBA in the 80s was having a problem making money. I mean, their profit margin was very small until who came into the league? 2 important people, a guy named Irvin Johnson, and a bad white boy he used to play against in college known as Larry Bird, one of the greatest players to ever do it. You got to give them their flowers, okay? So let's look at the parallels. When those two came into the league, viewership, all kinds of stuff went up, correct? Now, just from those two players, from a business aspect, the league made more money. When the league made more money, they started getting those TV deals. When those TV deals started coming in, the CBA gave more money to the players. Damn, I mean, I'm not a Larry Bird fan at all. I used to hate Larry Bird because I was a Laker fan, right? Big hearted Laker fan. Magic was my man. But the man had talent. So let's revert back to the WNBA today. These people have not turned a profit. They have never even sold out stadiums before. It was getting so bad for the WNBA. They took them out of the major stadiums and put them at like smaller venues. So it looks like it's a sold out crowd and stuff. They couldn't sell out a 20,000 seat stadium, right? You got to think of these sports entertainment areas. It's a business first. It's a business. I don't care if you don't like Clayton Clark. I don't care if you don't like the fact that she lives off of her privilege. The same privilege that Larry Bird had that started those rivalries that made you guys watch and talk about the NBA and the WNBA, it's doing it right now. You can't take away from the fact that she's the scoring leader, whatever. And I know there's black women that, had more points and stuff. But the fact of the matter is she is designated as the scoring leader. She was drafted #1 overall. You cannot take the talent away from her. Her very first WNBA game, the woman scored 20 points. Okay. So the women in the WNBA should be embracing this newfound notoriety that they're getting because this woman is giving them more money in their pockets. All of this catcalling. When Larry Bird came into the league and Magic Johnson came into the league, you didn't see anybody hating on them, talking about, oh man, they got us notoriety from college and they're not real people like that. No, everybody understood from a business standpoint that, hey, we need to embrace these younger stars and make them money. And I'm going to challenge you guys to do this because I'm not going to get super winded because I want to hear you guys' opinion on this. If Caitlin Clark, using her privilege, did not get that big $20 million Nike deal, do you think A'ja Wilson would have gotten her deal? Like you just said, Demetra, she's been waiting for years. She's been in the league for at least 6 years. She's been waiting for years to get a deal. She just got the deal because people are looking at, wait a minute, this woman was the MVP last year. You're giving this rookie a deal and you're not giving the MVP a deal? Now A'ja Wilson's got a deal. Reese got a deal recently. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to feed off the one person, regardless of how you feel about it, to make money. What is the main thing in entertainment that causes money? Remember in the 90s? Death Row versus Bad Boy. How many of you guys went out and wanted to get the record to hear the diss records? It's controversy sells. So for the WNBA, this might be an opportunity for them to turn a profit for the very first time in their existence. Now, here's the negative thing about it. The chartered flights, that's going to kill them because once again, to me, they shouldn't have chartered flights because that's very expensive and it cuts against the bottom line. If you can't turn a profit, how the hell can you afford charter flights? You're digging yourself into a deeper hole. But see, when you're with a welfare league, and let's face it, that's what it is, you don't worry about what it costs because it's coming out of somebody else's pocket. Nowhere should these people be getting chartered flights right now, and they're not even turning a profit. But hopefully, if they would embrace this, and if they're going to make it a rivalry, a racial type thing, then do that. As long as it puts butts in the seats, it puts more money in those players' pockets. At the end of the day, it's a business first.
Yes, it is a business first. And hello to everybody that came on here. Tree says people in those days, something else, judgment gonna teach. No. And LW says they should thank her hourly. Okay, hourly. And Soto says when women start dunking and hitting last minute threes, they will grow. All right. So again, yes. Hey, Anais, how you doing? Where you been? Um, so yeah, the money, nobody would be there without the money. I think it's no secret that she is bringing lots more money in. I have a problem with bowing down and giving her flowers. You bring in more money, so what? Oh, I'm supposed to bow down to you? Why I'm gonna bow down to you? You know what I mean? I might say thank you. And I think the ladies, a lot of them said we are thankful, but what we're not going to do is discount ourselves and bow down to her. First of all, I don't know. It's early, I guess, in the season. Like I said, I'm speaking over my head, but it don't sound like she's measuring up to the height, right? As I saw a lot of y'all saying, I've actually covered this story in the African Diaspora News Channel. A great white hype. There's a lot of hype behind her. And, when I thought of her, and I'm not calling him this, but Kwame Brown, they called him bust, right? Was it Stephen A. Smith that labeled him a bust? Because he was a number one draft pick as well, if I'm not mistaken. And then he went in there and didn't have a stellar, time there, whatever. So I was like, if he a bust, from what we see now, I don't know what she's gonna do. Would she and Tell also be a bust? I don't know. I would think that she would, but like I said, for me, what's discouraging is I haven't seen any, and I've watched a couple of these clips. I haven't seen too many white pundits get on there and speak against Caitlyn, but I've seen a lot of brothers, from your what's his name, Shannon Sharps to your Emmanuel Achos, and all the other little talking heads that sit up there talking. Charles Barkley talking about, and I think Shaq says something too. Basically, they need to, be grateful and all this other stuff. It's like, well, how grateful am I supposed to be? Because before she came in, yeah, it's not a secret. They were catching buses. It says, from what I understand, somebody was telling me that a lot of times they were sleeping in the airports because sometimes they couldn't get hotel rooms due to them being booked. So it doesn't sound like the WNBA really cared after them a lot. Maybe it had a lot to do with money, but like, I think the basic amenities they should have. But I mean, how grateful are these women? A lot of them sisters, and I heard too they're trying to say something about the LGBTQ, which it sounds like there's a lot of them in there. Those women should be grateful. So I'm wondering how grateful should they be, and I wanted to know when are the brothers going to be able to say, yeah, you know what? Caitlyn is good at what she does, but asking the other sisters, especially to be quiet and stop hating and be petty and bow down. What the hell? Somebody explain that to me like I'm 3.
Well, what I think they're saying by bow down and be petty, what they're saying is shut up and dribble. Play your game. One of the greatest players, to me, the greatest player that ever played the game all around was also a LA Sparks. What's her name? She won Rookie of the Year and MVP. God, I can't remember her name right now. But I got mad because she had a baby and then she went gay.
You talking about Candace Parker?
Candace Parker, one of the greatest that ever did it. I mean, her game was tight. Lisa Leslie's game was tight. Rebecca Lobo. We interviewed Cynthia Cooper, one of the all-time greats, 4-time champion. I mean, so I think that's basically what they're saying is let your game talk to you. It's great to talk a good game. You can talk all that other stuff. Let your game be what it is. Now, Caitlin Clark's problem, what I've been seeing as a longtime fan of the WNBA is the fact that she needs a new coach. Her coach is not putting her in the position to shoot the ball. They're making her be a point guard, and a point guard that's passing and setting things up when that, she could be the point guard, but the offense should run through her, and it's not running through her. And also you got to remember, Indiana Fever had the number 1 pick last year. So they got the girl Aaliyah Boston, who is a issue there as well, because Aaliyah Boston has an inside game. So how do you do a person whose game is inside and you got this outside person? So they've got to make it work one way or the other. Now, I predict Aaliyah Boston's on her way out. There's just no way that this is going to work if they can't figure it out. And I think that the coach is going to be fired because people are coming to see Caitlin Clark shoot the ball. She needs to shoot the ball at least between at least 20 times a game. She's got to shoot that ball at least 20 times a game. Sheryl Swoopes, one of the greatest that ever did it. She got a deal known as the female Jordan. So again, I think they're saying instead of these sisters hurting their brand, because that's what you're doing. You're hurting the brand. Like I said, let's be real. A lot of guys did not like Larry Bird that played against Bird, but you didn't see them in interviews hating on the brother because they knew the bottom line was their pockets. And let's face it, the NBA, some of those guys that played in the 60s and the 70s and even in the early 80s, they had second jobs. That's how bad the finances were in the NBA until these two people came in and people kind of built it up. So.
Yes, indeed. And I said, I know it's early, but I'm just saying, it could it be that? I don't know. Maybe she's just getting warmed up. Obviously, it's a little bit different than playing college than it is professional. A lot of those ladies have been in the league a long time, but I've heard a lot of criticism too about them, I guess, playing rough with her. I don't know. It's like, what are we supposed to do? Just hand you the ball, because everybody else loves you. We're supposed to just, there's the hoop. Go right ahead. No, we gonna try to break your ankles. Now I do know a little bit about basketball. We're gonna try to break your ankles, sis. You getting all this money. They come to see you play. They want to see you win, but we ain't gonna give it to you. We're not gonna, let you win. But my other thing is this though. It seems like when it comes to white women, everybody wants to treat them like, oh, she's a painty flower. You just take it easy. Those big bad sisters, they're being brutes. They're being mean. It's like, nah, welcome to the WNBA. Like, what did you think was going to happen? I know everybody gassed your head up. They made you think that it was just going to be easy peasy. Nah, we going to break your ankles, sis. We're going to break your ankles. We're going to make you earn every last plane ride you're getting, all the extra millions you getting. We're gonna make you earn all of that, and I don't see the ladies as hating. I see them as, nah, thank you, but we're not gonna do anything more than that. We here to play ball, and I saw somebody say her getting that if the league is broke, and I guess now the ticket sales are coming in, maybe y'all should just rock with that until further notice. But she comes in, bam, she's a superstar. So with that, you got to ask the question, did they set her up? Did they set her up for what she's getting treated now? You bring this woman in and she's the white, height, the hope or whatever. And so, yeah, of course, it's going to cause some animosity. It's like, nah, a lot of them ladies been there for a long time. Brittany Griner, she was going over to Russia to supplement her WNBA, pay.
Most do that. Most players do that.
So I'm just using her as an example. So now Caitlin comes in and she's got, and I get it, she's a talented woman. I'm not taking from that, but she got a sweetheart deal. So those ladies been there for a long time. So they supposed to just say,
Well, actually, she didn't get a sweetheart deal. Her WNBA salary is $78,000.
Whose?
Caitlin's. Her WNBA deal is $78,000, but her endorsement deal is $20 million, and so on and so on.
There you go. Now, how many? Right. What other players got that in the WNBA besides her?
There's not a lot. Exactly. There's just not a lot. Asia Wilson just got a deal. I think it was $16 million. Her sneaker deal was $16 million. Again, we got to look at it from a business standpoint. How many of you guys know who Dawn Staley is?
I know who she is. She's
a phenomenal player. This girl was phenomenal. 5'9", blah, 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 right? How many of you guys know for 2 years she played in the American Basketball League? Now, a lot of you guys are saying, what's the American Basketball League? It was the women's league before the WNBA. It folded because nobody was watching. They had no backers. It only lasted 2 years. And a lot of those players moved into the WNBA.
Absolutely, Brother Sammy. How you doing? Said this is about race. Demetra and Donovan, you make great points. Though whenever someone copies the original, they are overly praised. Great white hope. Exactly. Because it was sisters doing that way before she got in there. And all of a sudden they supposed to act. Yes, man. Yes, Miss Ann. Come on in, Miss Caitlin. What you want us to tie your tennis shoes for you too? I mean, that's how people are acting like these women supposed to be acting. It's like, nah.
Well,
you come in and play.
Yeah. Well, did you see Angel Reese get clotheslined by the chick from Connecticut?
I did.
And again, Angel Reese is putting butts in the seats as well, where, in her part. So these two rookies are coming in and making people pay attention to the WNBA. But I want to say this, because I want to hear our co-hosts here. Ladies, at the end of the day, this would be a profitable league if more women would support it. It really would. I'm just saying it. It's unfortunate that supposedly the LGBT within the WNBA and their marketing, it's kind of not making it family friendly. But again, I think that if women would support it more, it would be on a better financial footing, and we wouldn't have to deal with all of this type stuff. Because let's face it, more women attend NBA games than they do WNBA games.
Yeah, and the average logical thinker, you're right. He says these women can fuss all they want, but until they stand their ground and leave the league as one or demanding what they want, nothing will change. Yeah, and I'll also put in, like Donovan said, it is about money, but we know that Caitlin can only be who she is if the other ladies participate. Was she gonna get up in there, and play by herself? No, and I used, like you said, they're gonna probably injure her. I would hate that to happen to her, but yeah, they like, nah, we gonna is she gonna try to go for this layup and it ain't gonna happen,
Yeah, well, you remember Rebecca Lobo, super tall center. She's the one that put Connecticut on the map and stuff like that. And they were hyping her up basically like the Caitlin Clark, right? She was going to be the big thing for the league. Then she got injured her ACL, and she was a bust. So there's a lot of number one players that become busts, or bust life, whatever you want to call it. So it isn't not a known phenomenon, but I'm looking at it from a business aspect of people actually paying attention to the WNBA. It hasn't happened in these people. They're on their 28th, 29th year. And, now people are just now talking about this. And again, controversy does unfortunately create it's like the Lakers and the Celtics. You couldn't tell me in the 80s, even until this very day, that wasn't a racial rivalry. Because most of the Celtics were always white, and all the Lakers were always black. It sells. It's a business point.
Right. And I used to say it's not going to be easy for the rookies. No, and then Angel Reese she says, I forget the girl's name that did that. It sounds like she's been in the league a long time. Was it AT? I think they call her, or is her name Alicia or something like that? She says, I know she.
Alicia Thomas.
Yeah, she said, I know
nice
she
body. Oh my gosh, she has a nice body. But go ahead.
I thought it was a man at first, but anyway. She says, I know she didn't mean any harm. She says, I don't want them to be nice to me. I don't want them to play nice with me. I'm here to play ball. They're doing their job. I'm doing mine. She says, I know her. I love her. I respect her. And there was any ill will to what she did. She's like, nah, they ain't supposed to take it easy on me. So she took it on the chin. And, if Angel Reese can have that attitude, then I don't understand why a lot of these pundits can't have the same attitude about Caitlin. Was she too good to play like real basketball? I mean, what,
Well, remember Diana Taurasi, before the league, the season even started, said, hey, that's great when you're in college level, but you come up here, you're going to be playing with some real women. And they took her to task.
Right. Yeah, exactly. What other players deserves 20 million, And somebody said too about Ice Cube. I guess he was trying to offer $3 or $5 million to play for the Big Three. And so somebody said he would have wasted his money. I don't know. It's still early. I'm not, she may get it together. That happens, right? People find their legs and they end up, doing well. But yeah, I don't have a problem with her getting the accolades that she has. I just have a problem with people expecting, the other ladies to bow down to her as though she's some, a deity or something. You another player. Thank you for the extra money or whatever. But no, we're not bowing down to you. We're just not gonna do that. And like I said, as a sister, hey Pop, how you doing? It's disheartening to me to see so many brothers, especially on TV, calling the other ladies haters and stuff like that. I think they're allowed to voice their opinion. LW says no other WNBA has ever brought as much viewership as the W to the W as CC is bringing. Yeah, I'm sure it is. But again, y'all can thank Angel Reese for that, because if it wasn't for Angel Reese, then all them other people wouldn't have a savior, because they thought that Angel Reese was bullying Caitlin Clark. Let's keep it a buck. That's where she came to prominence. I'm not saying she wasn't playing well, but she came to prominence because Angel was bullying her, and everybody and their mama called, a lot of pundits, a lot of white pundits called her names, all kind of stuff. And then when they showed the other footage of Caitlin doing it, then it was like, oh, nobody retracted what they were saying. So y'all can actually thank Angel Reese for people knowing about Caitlin Clark. You're welcome. All right, so let's see who else came on here. Easy said, why does she deserve that with no college championship? Exactly. You know, it's like she don't have any championships as of yet. You know, so I agree with you. Okay, Black American said I'm sorry, women's sports suck. I mean, I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of sports at all. Mike Nice says Don Staley was a baller. Yeah, and I like her because she's very humble. She like, come on, let's just go get these W's, and then we're gonna make it do what it do, right? I like her. She a cold sister. I really do like her. And Mad Mark, she says, I agree, but would Tiger Woods have made so much endorsement money if he were white? If you were white, I don't know. Would he have made more? I don't know. I think he probably would have made more if he was white, but he was Cablinesian from what he said. You know, that was a mixture of all the things that he was. He coined that as Cablinesian. It's like somebody help him. So I know he says you're gonna go to a Fever game soon. Okay, well let us know how it goes. In his ghetto point of view, he says, why does no one talk about the other WNBA players who retired early because of the LGBTQ agenda and all the bullying? Where was all the sisters to stand and defend them? Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that. It sounds like a lot of them are of that agenda. So I don't know. Hey, Alan, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. And
Dimitri, remember I used to watch this the women's football, lingerie football league. How many of you guys remember that used to come on TV like on the back stations? And I think it was on Access TV or one of those channels, and it was lingerie football, where these women are playing football in scantily, clothed football with the pads and everything, and they're very attractive women, and they're out there playing, right? Guys this was a profitable league. Why was it profitable? The game was horrible. Don't get me wrong. The game was horrible. It was profitable because the women were using what they got to put the butts in the seats. Now, the WNBA, they suffer from the mere fact that they made a movie on this, you guys. How many of you guys remember the movie Juwanna Mann? How many of you guys have made a movie? We're looking at men that didn't make the NBA, basically. When you look at the WNBA, you're looking at men that could not make the WNBA, and that's not going to sell when you're saying it's a female league. If they would just feminize it a little bit more, I guarantee you they would get more revenue and more people in those seats.
Do them ladies look like they want to be feminine? Some of them. Do they
no,
look like
and you don't draft those women. We say here, this little G-string. Wait. Matter of fact, Black America. What was the league that we need to invest in? Buns and basketball. That is a profitable league. Buns and basketball. You got to think of the marketing.
That's for y'all, okay? Those ladies actually have talent, and they actually want to play. They don't want to run around naked for y'all.
Wait, you don't think it's talented to be able to twerk on your hands and hit the ball like the Harlem Globetrotters up into the goal? That's pretty hard to do.
I'm going to be nice because my mind was working a little bit faster than my mouth, and my mouth says, shut your mouth. Don't you say it. And so MD says, once again, white folks failing up. Yeah, but again, her folks is like, yeah, we're behind her. And, women, a lot of people are actually going to the games now. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be behind her, but they only behind her because they thought Angel, a Black woman, was being a big bad wolf to Little Red Riding Hood. That's the only reason why. Hey, Miss Wees, how you doing? Charles, you say every sport is seeking a great white hope. Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. All right, so I'm going to skip down a little bit so I can catch up. Y'all know how it goes here. Black America, you say, I can thank Reese for looking sexy and shaking her. Okay. Easy says, Barkley and Shaq be straight all the time. All the time. Like all the time. It's like, my God. Hey, Corey, how you doing? It says, those sisters are not hating on her. I don't think they hating either. Double A says, when Angel Reese trolled her with the ring finger gesture, put them on the map. Yeah, that's when everybody got to talking about her. So thank Angel for that. Gina says they're going to chew her up and spit her out. There was way too much showboating for someone who didn't even have a championship. Yeah, and it sounds like she's, trying to find her way in the league. And I get it. But yeah, they sticking it to her. And I don't think they should take it easy on her. She ain't special. Earn your money, sis. Let's see. Norris, how you doing? Where you been? He says the problem is she's unproven and getting big paid bucks. Paid big bucks rather. It says big. I'm a big bird. Bird and Magic won championships. Angel brought attention to the whole thing. Donovan, you are also right. Absolutely. And Donovan knows a whole lot about this. Yeah, like I said, this is over my head. JB Easy, how you doing? Since I remembered.
I took Demetra to a Sparks game. Look, we were in the box seats, paid parking, and I was a season ticket holder. Demetra was sitting there basically falling asleep.
I mean, that's I don't know. It just reminded me of like y'all ever gone to your little kids' little league games or your niece and nephew soccer game, and they're like 5, and it's nobody's kicking the ball in the goal and just kind of running back and forth, and it's like, how long is this game? Okay, we staying the whole thing. Mamiya, how you doing? Says Caitlin Clark didn't even win a championship in college or high school. From what I understand, I don't know.
Well, wait. Michael Jordan didn't win did he even make the team in high school in his freshman year or something like that? He had a great story. We know he won in college, and we know he went on to become one of the greatest of all times and things like that. But just because you didn't win at that level doesn't mean you're not going to win at the next level. So, I mean, let's face it, she does have the scoring title predated today. She was picked number 1 overall. So there is something in her game to where she is that. Diana Taurasi was picked number 1. Sue Bird was picked number 1. Rebecca Lobo was picked number 1. So you've got a lot of white hopes that have come into that league. And, some of them went on to be great, but I can name a few of them that just busted out.
LW says, I can tell the majority of this chat don't know hoops. I'll be the first to tell you, I know a little bit about basketball. In fact, I played when I was like 10. Like semi-professional, little league or whatever it is. I don't know, whatever you call it at that age. I don't think I really liked it much. But so no, I don't pretend to know that. But I don't think you need to know hoops exactly to know that calling those other women haters and petty and all of that because they won't bow down to her. I think that's ridiculous. Thank you. Like I said, you're a great player. But yeah, you're gonna get this work, homegirl. You're not coming up in here and just, la, 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 shoot, ooh. Nah. You gonna leave up out here with a sweaty jersey, ma'am. I'm just saying. Sister B, how you doing? He says, Angel Reese just gave Caitlin a dose of her own medicine in typical fashion. He says, Caitlin spit it out. They wanted Angel to defer to her white privilege and be a good victim. Exactly. And then they found out she was doing it too. And it was like, ooh. Hey, Kiki, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Miss D, how you doing? And you say Angel Reese and Aja are very feminine. Yes, they are very feminine. And a lot of those, I guess, I don't know what the ratio is of women who are LGBTQ and those that are not, but I know when we went, Donovan, there was some who kind of, because back then it didn't seem like they were able to really just say, hey, I'm gay. They kind of was suppressing it. But I saw Brittany Griner walking through the Houston airport one day by herself. I thought, okay, wow, that's interesting. I mean, not that she couldn't walk by herself. Very tall, but she looks like a man. She looks more like a man, even more so now, So I don't know if that's on purpose or what, but to each his own. And Samaj says DeMarcus Cousins should join the WNBA. Maybe he plays against Brittany Griner. I don't even know who that is. Let's see here. Gina says Little Red Doggy Hood. You know what, y'all see y'all talking about that lady. Y'all ain't right. Mission Visions, if I didn't already, how you doing? Says they thought she was gonna be better than Angel, but it flopped. Right. I mean, well, Angel does have a championship under her belt, don't she? Marcella, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Says good afternoon, you gorgeous king and queen. I just finished with your earlier video. I'm sorry about it. The weather, Houston was on one today. Okay, it just glitched and it came right back. But that glitches my internet as well. So
whenever somebody brings up a person's lack of a championship and this, that, Luke Walton got 2 championships, and Adam Morrison, he was a big bust in the NBA, and he had that record out of Gazanga. I mean, he got 2 championships sitting on the bench. It's like, I know where people are coming with it, but does that really matter? Like I said, I'm looking at it from I want the WNBA to succeed, but they're not going to succeed if they can't turn a profit. And it's been 28 years or whatever it is. They should have been closed those doors, ladies. Financially, you can't give people more money if you're not bringing in revenue. It just doesn't happen.
Easy say, I disagree. Donovan, Caitlin is mediocre with white privilege. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, come on, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, come on now. That's like taking a white girl, putting her on a track. Even Demetra would smoke the girl. It's just something that we know when it comes down to it. But I forgot the chat. He moved it up. This whole thing's about race and controversy sells tickets. As long as we keep talking about this, that is what's going to make these people have money. You put Sue Bird, any of the great white hopes, against the black best, they're going to fall short. And we all know that.
Yeah, LeBron, I heard, was hating as well, or calling them haters and all that other stuff. It's like, knock it off.
Oh, please. Anybody that listens to LeBron, they don't know a damn thing about basketball.
Yeah. And we the people, he says, this is a conversation to be had. Make no mistake about it. This is about race. Yeah. And people trying to say that is not. But again, I think we should always have the conversation. We're talking about her. Caitlin's only hot because of Angel. She's hot because of the hate that her people had for Angel. That's where that happened. And people started to know this. And like I said, she's on a losing team. But Jill Biden tell her to come on to the White House. And did she lose? Well, to tell us something, Jill Biden, who was the wife of Joe Biden, the president of the United States, is she going to the White House because, you feel sorry for her? Is it because she's white? Because she didn't lose? So why is she going to the White House? I'm just asking.
Yeah, there's a great question by JB Easy. Why isn't the women supporting the WNBA is the question.
You say that again now?
He says the basic question is, why aren't women supporting the WNBA? That's what we should kind of really focus on a little bit. I know the Caitlin thing is, but if the women were supporting the WNBA, would this really be an issue if they were profitable?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't probably, but what degree do women watch sports? I don't know. I watch sports if maybe it's like a championship or something. But I really don't watch sports. So I can't speak for other women. I'm not saying I don't like sports. I don't really watch a whole lot of stuff, to be honest with you. But I'm not going to be like, hey, let me crack open a beer and go watch this, the game. It's not me, So I don't know why women aren't supporting it. But I think the bigger question is, why isn't the LGBTQ community supporting it?
Well, actually, that is the big number of their fan base is the LGBTQ community. Actually, if you go by the numbers, there were more of them that supported than anything else. But for those fellas that want to know, when Demetra ran track, she ran it in a burqa. Okay, so she was
stupid. You stupid. Marcelli says, when women go get another woman over as a lover, or why do they look like men? And the same for men, they go get a man that looks like a woman. Please make that make sense. Why can't they just go get the real? That's out of my pay grade. I don't know. Y'all asking me to really put on my thinking cap now. I don't know. Yeah, Bill Walton passed this morning.
Yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm. All right, I guess. RIP to him. Let's see here. Tracy, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says, how do you know Demetra can't ball? I mean, I do okay. Just, I'm one of those people. You give me a couple of minutes, I'm gonna pick it up, right? Yeah, I played basketball when I was like 10. JB Easy says, why isn't the women support? Okay, so you read that question already. I don't know why they're not supporting it. I really wish I knew. Sounds like they're supporting it now, though. Black America says the white girl can shoot the three. Yeah, and I heard that they compare her to Steph Curry. So I don't know. Double A says LeBron is playing it safe politics. Yeah, he always sounds like he's saying something. You know, I like LeBron.
He's the one that gaslight his son about, oh, he could play on the Lakers right now, blah, blah, blah. And then when people put him the task of that his son isn't going to be drafted and all this other stuff, oh, let a kid be a kid. The guy's a total fraud. I'm from LA, and this little midterm championship that you brought in, this bubble championship, is totally unacceptable. Get your crap and get the hell out of LA.
Wow. Y'all want the link open? Okay, let me get to the rest of these comments, and let's see who else came on here. Sonny, how you doing? It says women haven't been watching sports. Hello, everyone. Yeah, there's women who watch sports. I just, like I said.
Well, here's the thing, and here's something, ladies, and tell me if I'm wrong or not. Girls really, a lot of women, the majority of women do not identify with those type of sports. They would rather watch Basketball Wives and Housewives of Atlanta and get glammed up and all that other stuff than run around. And you know what I mean? It's a small number of of women that are interested in sports like that, because that's what they're doing. Because even within the sports, look at how these women look in the sport itself. You got these women with these weaves all the way down their backs. They're running up and down the court, trying to balance the difference between being a clown and playing and being a major athlete. So a lot of women really don't identify with athletics.
I mean, there's a lot of women that are athletes. Let's not get that messed up, right? There are. Y'all asked me a question as to why they're not supporting games. I don't know that they are. I don't know that they're not. I don't have an answer to it, as I do not do sports myself like that. I'll go to a game and somebody invites me. So I'm like, I actually like to watch baseball because it reminds me of my grandmother, my dad's mom. She used to sit by the radio and listen to the Dodgers. And so we would listen as well. So baseball is kind of nostalgic for me in that way. So I would go see a baseball game, and I have gone to a baseball game. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the link. Here are the rules. Okay. We know we're gonna be respectful. Let's try to limit our commentary depending on how many people want to come up. Okay. Just know that I reserve the right to mute your mic if you're getting too silly. That's all I want to say. All right. And so in the comment section, I'm gonna have to pay attention to the screen. So it's not that I don't want to read your comments. I'll catch back up when I get done with whoever's coming on here. So if you want me to read your question, maybe don't type it just yet until I'm done up here. All right, Donovan, I'm going to put this link up. So you can take over till I put this link up.
Yeah, Tito says LeBron won a championship up there in Cleveland. Yeah, and that's great, and it's a great story. But did you notice LeBron can't win nothing unless he has two other superstars with him? He couldn't win nothing in Miami. He couldn't win nothing in Cleveland without two other people. You've got Anthony Davis, and you've got himself, right? He ain't winning nothing here in LA. Every year we hear about, oh, we got to get LeBron some help. Do you know how many coaches LA has gone through in the LeBron era in LA? Too many of them. They've changed the team. I think they've traded over 35 players in the LeBron era, and we haven't won anything. The guy is a total fraud. If you're really great as a great player, you don't have to tell people you're great. I've never heard Michael Jordan say, well, I'm the GOAT. I'm the GOAT. You never hear Michael Jordan say that. You never hear any of the greats say how great they are, because their legend is what it is. They don't have to say a thing. They don't have to say a thing. Now, me, if you're talking about the Mount Rushmore of basketball, I don't know how these young people talk about the greatest that ever be on the mountain, and you don't name Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He had, up until LeBron recently won the points title, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had it. And Kareem went to college for 4 years. LeBron came straight out of high school. So if Kareem had 4 more years, how many points would he actually would have had? It's all in perspective. But this is why LeBron is a fraud. And for those of you guys that are LeBron fans, God bless you and everything, but the guy's a fraud. Kobe won 2 championships with Paul Gasol, and Paul Gasol isn't a major superstar player. Look at the teams that he won it with. And he proved he didn't necessarily need Shaq to win. Every year, we got to get LeBron some help. The guy is total garbage. Get the hell out of LA. But go ahead, Dimitri.
All right, so we're bringing Al to the big screen. I put the link in the comment section. What's on your mind, brother?
Well, hello to both of you and the non-basketball fans in the chat.
All right, what you got on the topic?
Okay, let me put all of this into proper perspective when it comes to this WNBA. Okay, now let's just go back what Donovan said about Magic and Larry Bird. Every league needs a star. Every league. Now, I can remember like when after Magic and Bird left, then came Jordan. Everyone was watching the NBA. Everyone. Now you fast forward to the WNBA. The WNBA has been in existence since 1997. The games only used to be on, I think, on the weekends. They didn't. I don't know if they had like a league pass or anything like that. Not unless you can just watch them locally. So the league has to need stars. For the last couple of years, women's college basketball has been getting more hype than the NBA in regular season because they had stars. Back then, they had Pat Summitt as a coach when she was with Tennessee. And then a few years ago, you had Don Staley. People were watching it for Don Staley because they didn't care about Gino Noriema when he was with Connecticut. Look at what Don Staley did. And so now the WNBA, they've been taking a black eye for so long. Every time you look on social media, you'll see a WNBA salary compared to what they're making. And so why would you complain that you got a girl coming in here? Because people want to see her to bring some money in. And that's just the way it is. You had Kobe and Shaq. People were watching them then. And now it's just a new league. You always hear them say it's a business. It's a business. If you making me more money than what I was prior to what I was a few years ago, why the hell would I complain? That makes absolutely no sense to me. Who gives a damn if she's white or if she's Asian or whatever? You got more money in your pocket. You have more money. Okay, let's just say she wasn't in. Then you would still be mad that you sleeping in the airport. You're taking these raggedy buses. I read somewhere where they weren't going into no Ritz-Carlton or no Radisson. These people were sleeping in the Comfort Inn. A professional team sleep.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that these ladies should give her flowers and bow down and all this other stuff?
No, no. There's a difference of being respectful of that. Them ladies know for all these years, hey, Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, Teresa Weatherspoon, those ladies are long and gone. You don't have those ladies no more. That's why they're trying to do. Look, the WNBA did an expansion. They brought in a team from Utah, took that out. I think they had a team in San Antonio, took that out because the attendance and the merchandise was low. So now you bring in someone that people want to see. Because all it is when you go to a WNBA game, you see a college women's game, mostly it's just layups, and then people shooting these long threes, and they're not making them, so the score is low. So they took Caitlin Clark, which she did so well in college, and figure, okay, she's going to market our league because that's going to transform what she did in college over to the pros. Now it hasn't panned out because she's still a rookie, but look at the money that they're making now opposed to what they were since 97. Give me a break. 97, here it is, 2024. You don't have to live like you once lived. Your jerseys will start selling. They're talking about creating another team in 2026. So I wouldn't complain. You don't got to bow down or anything like that. I think that's just they're just mad because it's a white girl, and a lot of them are mad. The ones that are mad because Caitlyn looks like she's a woman. She's not LGBTQ. Look at when she comes into
yes.
That's what it is. She's bringing femininity to the league. Maybe people weren't watching the WNBA because they look like men. Who wants to see a bunch of lesbians play, touching each other's butt? Looking like, let it be sexy.
I thought, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I thought that, and listen, I'm not trying to be shady. I thought Caitlyn was LGBTQ.
No, she's not. She's not.
She's a far right Christian. Yeah, she's a far right Christian.
I thought she was Caitlyn Jenner, but never mind.
That I think that's what it is. If she was LGBTQ, they wouldn't be having a problem. I really and truly believe it.
But okay, a lot of those women is I don't know, because I don't know. Y'all tell me, is she LGBTQ?
I don't think that she is.
So I don't know. I think Aja kind of.
Do you know? Or you speculate?
I don't know, but but again, I'm just her mannerisms is questionable.
So wait, she said that she does believe it's because Caitlyn is white.
Well, regardless of whether she's white or whether whatever it is, you got more money this year than what you did the whole other times you've been in there. Now your pay is going to increase. Your ratings are going to go up. And so every player has to be in the right system. It's not where you get picked. It's who goes to you and who's going to utilize your talent. Caitlyn, she does need a new coach. She's not even playing. And Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston played for Don Staley the year they won the championship. And so when she gets over to the WNBA, she's having a down year. And so sometimes
remember Leah Boston in her rookie year, she was an all-star last year. They've had the #1 pick 2 years in a row now.
That's how that goes. And a lot of those players, y'all were talking about Rebecca Lobo. Rebecca Lobo, to me, she's a better analyst than what she was a player when she got to the WNBA. Candace Parker, she tries to do the NBA as an analyst, and she's horrible. She is absolutely horrible. Shanae Obumake, who used to play for the Sparks, she doesn't. The Sparks didn't pick up her contract for some odd reason or another. Now she does NBA games as an analyst, and so she's transitioned over well.
So, what do y'all think about her being called the GOAT?
Well, that's too early. When you're a rookie, there's no way you could be called the GOAT. So people that do that, they don't know anything about sports. You can't call a rookie the GOAT. She could be hurt next year.
I saw a brother that was sitting on one of them television shows as I guess he's a sport analyst, and he said she's the GOAT.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit too ahead. Maybe because they trying to get their ratings on their show up, because topics will like that arise. But yeah, it's too early to be calling her the GOAT. But goddamn, why are you complaining when your check has tripled more than what it did the previous 3 or 4 seasons?
That's where chartered flights. You're not in the airports anymore where people ask you questions.
I don't think anybody is complaining about that. I think they're complaining about being called haters and being petty because so what? Are they supposed to ignore that a lot of that has to do with she's white? Let me ask y'all this. Would y'all agree that Angel Reese brought Caitlin Clark to the spotlight out of what white supremacists deemed that, Angel Reese was being mean to Caitlin? Would y'all at least agree with that?
Yeah. No, I won't agree with that, because women's college basketball that had Angel Reese that was playing at LSU and Caitlin at Iowa, for the last few years, women's college basketball has been way better than the men's. And so it just hyped up when they got into the championship. Caitlin's team, South Carolina got knocked out by somebody, and then Iowa wound up playing LSU, and then that's when she did all that. But Caitlin started it first. Then when Angel did it, then they tried to come down on Angel, which wasn't right. And so that built up the hype. Now, if they really want to make some money, Donovan, you can put Angel and Caitlin. What if they were on the same team? Right now, Angel is playing with a girl she damn near got into a fight with that was on Don Staley's team. Camisa Cordova, whatever her name is.
Let me ask y'all this. NAA says Angel is getting much hate too. Would y'all agree with that? Like we heard Emmanuel Acho, and I know, people have their opinions about him that he kind of raccoons a little bit. But when she cried, when they lost and all that, he basically told her, so what, too bad, so sad. You ain't so big and bad now, this, that, and the other. So the sister gets treated with, boxing gloves, but the white woman gets treated with kid gloves. So is there something to that? Like, Angel being the black woman, she's supposed to be tough and too bad, suck it up. But then when, the white girl is getting, played against, they're trying to break her ankles or whatever the case is, they playing a little too rough with her.
Well, yeah. Well, of course, like I said, and then Angel Reese isn't helping her situation because in the backside of it, her problems that she had at LSU, leaving the team, being suspended by the team, she fell into the stereotype that they put us all in. I'm not saying she did anything wrong, but with all the controversy that was going on behind the scenes, that wasn't helping her case when she moves on. It's kind of like being a Dennis Rodman. As great as Dennis Rodman is as a player, all that extra baggage didn't help him in regards to his sellability. You know what I mean? His marketability. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for the fact that he was just that bad of a man, because let's face it, he wasn't a scoring champion. Dennis Rodman was known for his defense. And it's very rare that a defensive player like that gets into the Hall of Fame, but he was that good. The worm was that good. So Angel Reese's situation, like a lot of, it's kind of like the Sha'Carri Richardson thing. When Sha'Carri started getting distracted with the city girl stuff and stuff like that, it knocked her off her pedestal a little bit. But when she started concentrating on her craft like she's supposed to and got back into it, now everybody's getting back on the gravy train with her. You see what I'm saying? It's like we feed into this thing that that the white, the people who have most of the money in this country, Nike and them pull the endorsements and stuff. I mean, if you're going to take the devil's money, sometimes you got to dance the devil's dance, and they can either give it to you or take it away from you. And Angel Reese and Sha'Carri, they kind of fell into that. But, Angel Reese, though, now that she's a pro, she is learning the fact that, hey, look, this is how it is. I can't cry about getting clotheslined. I have to help market this league to make a profit. And that's what they need to do. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, Caitlin Clark ain't all that, whatever, and making that rivalry because people want to see that. But at the same time, you got to understand, hey, it's a business and I have to help make this league grow. And that's what the WNBA needs to concentrate on. Do what you do, but racism sells. Racism sells at the end of the day.
I wouldn't be too surprised that, let's just say for the sake of argument, that they do all of this and the ratings are still low, the attendance is down, ticket sales and all of that. And then they say, well, you know what? We're just wasting airtime and space. We don't need no WNBA league. What's the point of having it on TV? Before it was on NBC, just like the NBA. They used to be on CBS back in the day. Then they brought it to I think they brought it to ABC, brought it to NBC in the 2000s, and then the money changed and they brought it over to ABC. So it always goes back and forth. So they better shut up and dribble or they gonna talk their ass out their money.
I mean, but that's the thing though. When they told LeBron to shut up and dribble, oh man, now y'all telling the sisters and the other women who, there's some other women. I can't remember. Was it Diana Taurasi that said something? One of them said something. I don't know. One of the, the white girls or whatever. I mean, I think they have the right to speak their mind without being called a hater. I can like the money, but I don't have to like the bowing down that y'all expect for us to do. Like treat her like Miss Ann.
And then I would say, well, who's bowing down? I'm not complaining. Maybe it's just a handful of them that are complaining. That are complaining. You know, right now, I'll end this. In the NBA, for the last few years, they keep talking. Remember back in 92, okay, in 88, USA went over to Seoul and they lost to whoever. And then they say in 92, hey, we got to get the NBA players to play over here in the Olympics. Because they're beating some of our good college players, David Robinson, Danny Manning, people like that. And so then those other countries started to step up. Now they're talking about that some of these better players that's coming from the overseas are better than some of the NBA players. And I heard something not too long ago that the last 4 or 5 MVPs of the NBA. Shit.
Uh-oh. Oh, his battery died. I'm gonna remove him.
But I know where he's going with that, because if you look at the NBA right now, in the league in the NBA right now, the some of the top players are the European players. And that started with Dirk Nowitzki and a few guys before him. I mean, they put it like this. It's like baseball. How many of you guys remember when at least if you're old enough, when I was growing up, they had little leagues all over the place. And, you used to look at baseball and there was a bunch of brothers playing in the baseball leagues. Now there are no black men in Major League Baseball. Not one. And that's by design. They're just moving us out of these sports. And now what you're seeing, and this is what I fear in the NBA, what's going to happen is as they bring these European players over, they're going to start edging out the black players, And it's just sad. I mean, it's almost like this, Demetra. How in the heck can a white guy get MVP in basketball? Professional basketball. It's like in boxing. I never thought there would ever be a white heavyweight champion ever, at least not in my lifetime, ever again. Because we're so angry and so mad. Ain't no white boy is going to be beating on no brother at the heavyweight division. Ain't going to happen. You don't even see us competing anymore. And this is what's happening. Here's the thing about Serena Williams and Venus Williams. A lot of people don't know this, so I'm going to give you guys the game about this. Do you want to know why Serena and Venus became champions? This is the real story. Forget all the coaching and everything like that. You guys remember before they would start their game, they would go and talk to their father. He'd give them some tips or whatever. One of the last things Richard said was, "Don't you let that white bitch beat you." That was it.
And sometimes that's all the motivation you need. I'm just saying, and I'm with Papa Richard, okay? And that's kind of how I feel about, this WNBA stuff. Now, I know some white, girls and some other women, that are not happy with having to expected to bow down to Caitlyn and all of that. But yeah, I feel the same way. Take it to task, give her all she can handle. Now, don't hurt her, but yeah, give her all she can handle. Make her earn all those accolades and all that other stuff. Her people showing up every game to see her win and all that other stuff. I make sure she go home with the L every time. If I was on the team, no, you not gonna win, okay? And so far, sounds like they're holding her to pretty low scoring. So yeah. And I'm with King Richard too. I'm with him too. DJ, how you doing? Says 23 grand slams and 14 doubles, folks. Still mad, okay? And he taught them not even knowing all the dynamics himself. So, big ups to him. Now that's the GOAT right there. You want to call anybody the GOAT, you can call King Richard the GOAT. All right, so let's see. Who else?
Look, it didn't matter. You ain't gonna let this white bitch. Don't you let that white. My mom used to say that when I played basketball and stuff. Don't you let. It was just, that was just. It's almost like, remember when you got your report card? You could have all Fs, even though that was a bad thing. My mother could not fathom the fact that I got anything less than an A in PE. She couldn't fathom that.
Yeah, that's all the playbook you need. Let's turn the page 1 through 99. Don't you let that white beat you. Okay? Turn to page 100. What does it say? Don't you let That's the play. I mean, I'm just saying, but yeah, so that's all I really have on that. I don't get the whole having to bow down yet. Thank you for the money and all that, but that's as far as it's gonna go. Okay, as far as rolling out the red carpet for you, you need your tennis shoes laced up? You need us to put your hair in a bun for you? Do you need some snacks in the green room or the locker room or whatever? No, we ain't doing all of that. Okay, we not.
And let me just say this real quick, because I want you guys to remember, you got to look at history. A lot of people don't read a lot of history because everybody looks to the future, which is great. But if you don't know your past, you definitely don't know where you're going in your future. In baseball, Jackie Robinson broke the color line, which is great.
Oh, wait, hold up. That you said that. Jason Whitlock, who is the
racket, he was the rickety raccoon, but go ahead.
He compared her to Jackie Robinson in that she's facing racism. He said she's facing racism like Jackie Robinson.
Hell no. Again, he's getting his butter biscuits like Roland and all the rest of them. He's going to say what he's got to say. But I just want you guys to think about this and look at history. Jackie Robinson broke the color line in baseball, right? Opened the doors. I mean, he had like a record, and he's in the Hall of Fame. The guy is up there, right? But when he was in the Negro leagues, he was an average player. Guys, think about that. Jackie Robinson was an average player when he was in an all-black league. Average. Goes to the white league, super guy. We should never forget who we are. We should never forget who we are. So Angel Reese, all these women that are in the WNBA, always remember this is your business. So you want to grow the business, but that doesn't mean you lay down and have to deal with this. It is what it is. Expose these people and play the game the way you know how to play it. Never forget who you are.
Absolutely. Nora says nobody wants to see an all-white. You ain't lying. Nobody wants to see an all-white basketball or football team. We bring the smoke, everything we do. Yeah, that's the other part of it. When the black players realize that, then maybe, they'll realize the power that they have, saying, we're not going to play. Now, I know there's a lot of money involved, so that sounds easier said than done. But ain't nobody showing up to watch just them folks run up and down the field of the court. They're not. Their people might, but even their people show up for the chocolate on the court, on the field. They show up for that because, like you said, our people bring the smoke. They bring the pizzazz along with the talent, right? They talented, so they're not out there just, shucking and jiving. But yeah, but when they realize that, then they'll realize how powerful they are. Ragnar, you say I disagree. Mr. Whitlock is very knowledgeable about what buffets. What is he knowledgeable about? People, so people try to send me his stuff, and I'll get into a couple minutes. I'm like, hell no, hell to the no. I'm getting older, and I don't have a lot of brain cells to waste. I can't. When I see that the tap dancing is starting to start the soft shoeing, now I'm like, no, I'm good, thank you. So I take your word for it. Did you want to say something, Donovan?
Let's read those comments. Keep them coming.
Mike said that the NBA had enough of the rough and tough times with MJ used to get whipped on by New York, Detroit, Boston, Detroit, so on. Now there's no physical play.
Yeah, that's where the 3-point shooting came into effect too. That's when that really broke out to score and stuff like that because they got less physical.
It's the Buckhorn. She says, we the greatest people on this planet. Know your worth. Absolutely. Samuel C says, Jason Whitlock, a.k.a. Uncle Ruckus, overweight version of Steven from Django. Yeah, he just, boy, I tell you. My God. I thought Stephen A. Smith was bad, but Jason Whitlock, my God. He just, it's like, are you playing? Are you serious?
We know what he's on when he couldn't clear his history of his search engine. stuff.
What happened on the search engine?
You didn't hear how he got caught up looking at transgender people or something like that on his search engine when it was exposed. You got to look that up.
That doesn't surprise me. It jives. It does. Christian, he says, how many games has Caitlin won? I know that she's won one. I don't know, maybe she's won two now, but one. So yeah, out of like 7 now or 8, is it? I don't know. So
yeah. I think they play tonight.
Okay.
Tonight, tomorrow night. Yeah.
Now somebody said that Angel plays as well tonight. The one who cares. He says, Whitlock, the Ham Hawks, sit down, shut up. Right. PGH, Big Dog, how you doing? By the way, he says baseball has been trash since the black players have been removed. Yeah, I saw somebody say it's 6% of black players. I just like going to the baseball games for the atmosphere, and all of that.
You guys, Demetra gets in there with her stadium seat, drinks the beer and hot dogs and the Cheetos and the nachos and stuff, and just be talking crap.
I do. I went back vegan again. Y'all wish me luck. Wish me luck. No, actually, it's not been hard. It's been a week now, so I've been back vegan a week. I could do it. Yeah, Miss Sweets, he's a bit knowledgeable about buffets, but I don't know about what else. Gerard said, did y'all hear Ice Cube was selling one of his teams in his Big 3 baseball league? The league is maybe 5 years old. No, I didn't hear about that.
well, the thing is, you got to remember, he owns the whole league in itself. So I think that's kind of like a misnomer, because what I think he's trying to do is like have independent owners own the teams. Like right now, when you own the whole league, everything is yours. I think what he's trying to do is independently sell the teams to generate more revenue.
DJ says Whitlock is still hoping for someone to recruit him in any sport, which includes eating. Yeah, he's on a YouTube with the rest of us. When I say the rest of us, I mean us and Roland and the rest of us. He too was on a major, was an ESPN or Fox, I think it was one of those. And they got rid of him. And here he's there on YouTube, just, trying to outdo Candace Owens and the rest of them. I just can't take him seriously. It's like, okay, enough. I'm not listening to you anymore. You crazy. Mike says Stephen A. Smith equals Jason Whitlock. I don't know who's worse at this point. I really don't. Tree says black people great no matter what said, period. Yes, indeed. All right. So see, Ragnar says, say what you want, talk about his weight, but you can't dispute his knowledge of sports. Yeah, his knowledge of sports. Stay there. Stay with the sports. But then you try to go off into pop culture, and then you end up turning it into how white people are the victims. Is he related to Jesse Lee Peterson? Like, is Jesse Lee Peterson his dad or something? He get to talking about, just stuff that just, it's like, just say you love white people. Just start off with there. That way I know what I'm getting into, right? But he always going to find a way to badmouth black people and to make white people the victim. That's kind of how I see Jason Whitlock.
And I also want to bring up, like, when it comes to the revenue of the WNBA, this is the first year where their ticket sales have gone up, because usually you could go to a WNBA game for what, $30, and that's like mid-level. If you wanted the regular seating, it's like $3 to $7. So Caitlin Clark has, I don't know if it's just greed or whatever. They're just taking advantage of the fact these sold out games. They're saying that the tickets are going at about 30% more than they did last year.
And Christian says, sister, what do you think about Lisa Cabrera? I love Lisa Cabrera. Very smart lady.
She comes and watches our show every now and then.
Yes, she does. Very smart, very knowledgeable about the things that's going on, and very courageous, very unafraid, which is why I really love her content. She's unafraid. She's going to tell it like it is. He says, I would tune in every week if you two went live. It could happen. I don't know. But yeah, I love Lisa. And Sammy says, if I'm at a baseball game, baseball or football, I'm eating nachos, pizza, and the biggest soft drink with a medium ice with chicken fingers and fries. Hold the hot dogs. Oh, you be grubbing. 70 DRC. How you doing? By the way, he says, not many black kids playing baseball in the inner city like it used to be in the 70s and 80s. I agree with you. I love baseball. I like going to the batting cages. I need to find some out here. Easy says, like Brother Sam said, business is warfare. NBA considers IQ Big Three a threat. Yep, and he's talked about that. He's talked about it. Arniba, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Doe, what's going on with you? Black America says $9 tickets in Vegas. Is that what they are now? And Nano says Lisa is fire. Yes, she is. And more threads. Did I say hello to you? How you doing, by the way? All right, let's see. Sammy says Jason Whitlock loves white people and non-black people like he loves KFC, Mickey D's, and Vegas and Atlantic City buffet. You said it, I didn't. Miss Sweet, she says 30% higher ticket sales is awesome. Wanted to be a commentator for the WNBA. Go ahead and tell them. Let you in. And Bucker says, Miss Queen Lisa, I love her. She is so funny. All Hebrew forever. Yes, she is a beautiful lady too, by the way. And Al, I guess your phone died, but he says if the league doesn't have major stars, it will plummet. I agree with that. I think they need, some stars, but don't make them those people that's been in the league already bow down to her, because that's not fair to her either. And I don't think she's asking for that, but they're propping her up as the savior, right? For the WNBA, she's got to put on a cape and save everybody. So that's a lot of pressure on her. Yeah, you might have some people out there really wanting to play aggressive with her or whatever. But to the point of AT, that clothesline angel, I'm wondering if she would do that to Caitlin.
And if she did do that to Caitlin, what would be the reaction of them folks?
Right, because I know she was ejected from the game because she sounded like she did it twice, right? From what I saw, she did it twice, but the last time was really egregious. But would she do that to Caitlin? Would she pretty much grab her around her neck and slam her to the ground? Now, I'm guessing she wouldn't do that. Why? Because she knows better. But she would do it to a woman that looks like her. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just putting that out there. Y'all can do what you want to do with that. Okay, so let's see. Bad Ombre, how you doing? It says, I want to make a comment about Al Sharpton. Okay, make the comment. What you got to say? You want me to you want me to share the link? Is that what you want me to do? Donovan, how much time we got? You the timekeeper, bro.
We got 8 minutes.
How many?
8 minutes.
We got 8 minutes. Okay. All right. So let's see. Skip down. My head is hurting now. I'm tired. And Kelvin, you say, no, hell no, she wouldn't do that. Caitlin like that. She know better. Soto says the reaction would be, hey, it's a part of the game. Yeah, right. Do you know them people would cut up?
Yeah, what I heard, and I don't know if this is factual, but I heard her father even told her she needs to toughen up and stop bitching and moaning.
So is she complaining?
Well, not necessarily complaining. Like, okay, well, yeah, she is complaining. If you watch the tape, see, you don't watch the WNBA. Like she's complaining at the refs and stuff. Like she's always jibbing. Her dad's like, just shut up and play.
Yeah, because who told you that she was gonna go in there and it was gonna be easy? Who told you was gonna go in there and those ladies were just gonna just prop you up, or on a pedestal? Who told you that they were gonna do that?
Yeah, well, one of the biggest problems is the coach, the way the coach is utilizing her. It's just like when Magic came into the league. How many of you guys remember when Magic came into the league? He got rid of the coach the next year. The coach was gone. And the whole thing, Pat Riley took over and the whole thing changed. So that's what's going to happen, I think, to Caitlin Clark's coach, because she's not utilizing. People come to the games to see this girl put up 3-point shots, and she hasn't been given that opportunity to do it. Well, she did it against the Sparks, but.
So when you say she's not, and I don't watch the game, so I'm just asking you, she's not given an opportunity. So that means that she's not, they're not giving it to her, or she just not?
Yeah, the way that her offensive scheme is being played, you got an inside player like Boston that wants the ball. It's almost like the Kobe Shaq thing, in reverse. But people are coming to see her shoot the three. Now, she did it against LA and they won. She jacked up like, I think, 3 3-pointers in that game. And it was toward the end. And, it took the momentum out of the Sparks and they ended up winning. That's what people are coming to the game to see, her do these Steph Curry type shots.
And she ain't been able to do it.
Right. And it isn't because of the other teams. It's because of the way the offensive scheme is. She's being utilized as a guard to pass first. She needs to shoot the ball.
So it has nothing to do with defense?
No, it's the way that the offense is being run.
So then, yeah, they might need to get rid of the coach, because if people are going to see her win and play and she's not doing that, then yeah, it might be a coach thing. But I heard they was kind of shutting her down a little bit.
Well, yeah, they're shutting her down in the offense that they're playing. That's what I said. The coach has got to go.
Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about. Rodney says she's a little girl playing a grown woman's game. Maybe her skills aren't up to par. Y'all tell me. Like I said, I don't watch. Have not watched. I'm a college game, and probably last college game I watched is when I was probably 18, when I went to UCR. I don't know. And watching one live. I don't know. Micah says Paul Westfall. Okay. And Miss Weezy says she's not a starter player. 3-point win game. So she's not a starter player?
No, she's a starter.
Oh.
But again, the way the offense is being, she's been asked to play the offense, it's not going to work. If you're asking me, Aaliyah Boston will be either traded or released next year. You can't have these two players. They're just not jiving. When Boston is on the floor, Caitlin Clark isn't shooting.
I take your word for it. I don't know. All I know is, like I said, I'm not mad at those ladies. I don't think it's hate. I think it's respect. I'm gonna respect her, but don't disrespect me in the process. And like I said, just to me, I think it's disheartening to see a lot of brothers calling mostly those sisters, haters. I think that's wrong. Because Caitlin ain't gonna be nothing without those the other players playing in the WNBA. She needs them, as somebody else said, to look good. Easy said team sports win championships, not individualism. Like Caitlin, yeah, she can't win those. I should have read your comment. She can't win those games by herself. She needs the team. It sounds like they said maybe some people on her team are kind of salty as well. So it's not just the opposition.
Well, there's this other girl that's like a guard, or she's a forward, and they play the pick and roll really well together. So that is more her speed. It's more about an up-tempo game. Aaliyah Boston, as talented as she is, it's, to me, looking at it, it just doesn't work because it slows the game down. So
with this draft pick, it's the same in WNBA. The worst team, or like in the NFL, the worst team gets the first draft pick. So because it says Fever has finished in the last place the last 2 seasons, which is why Donovan, I'm gonna hurt you. Talking about Donovan, shut up. We the people says, in the words of our sister Lisa Cabrera, you don't forget how to play basketball. Quit making excuses for losing. Come on now.
Right, but how many of you guys saw that game where it was like 2 minutes left and the coach had Caitlin Clark sitting? I mean, that's just something. This is the number 1 draft pick, and she's has that ability to shoot the ball. You don't put that girl on the bench like that, because again, especially if they're rookies, it hurts their psyche when you do that. It really does hurt their game. You got to let them play and play through it. So again, I think the coach is going to be gone.
I guess. Brother Sammy says she played in a 3-point offensive in college and was shut down in championship game. I believe others learned from it. However, I do agree the offense she is in now is less 3-point friendly. So they're not passing her the ball. Is that what that is? Gotcha.
It's the way they set up the offense. They have, the offense should go through her. She should be the first scoring option, period. Aaliyah Boston, number 2. But they have her running as a point guard that sets up the offense and passes off and does all that. And that isn't her game. That isn't her game at all.
Got you. So it says, when Kobe was crowned, the next MJ players made him prove his skills. Then they shut up. There you go. Back it up, sis. Back it up. Come on in here and play. But don't expect for us to be soft on you. Don't expect for us to just give it to you. No. Wait. I'm just not going to give you the ball now. In my Kamala Harris impersonation.
And do you want to know what's crazy? Kobe's daughter, if she had lived would be eligible. Would she be in college right now? Whatever. But anyway, she would
I think
be.
she just would have had an 18th birthday.
Yeah. Okay. 18th birthday. So they would be gearing her to be the face of the league as she was getting ready to come into it.
Yeah, I did understand that. Yeah, that's still very sad to even think about that. Easy says she's not a true point guard; she's a shooter.
Right, she's a shooting guard. Yeah, she shouldn't be. She should be the first option to score.
Miss Sweet says, "I never let a freshman take your spot. Love and basketball." Okay,
basketball. That's right. Never let her.
Lady Diane says, "Great conversation tonight. I don't watch sports, but learned a lot about WNBA. Still not interested in the game." Yeah,
Ladies, support the game, the sisterhood, See, y'all are proving the men right. There ain't no damn sisterhood.
I mean, you know how many women on the planet? Why we got to watch it? I mean, if I was into basketball and stuff like that, yeah, I'll go watch it. But I'm just one of those people. I mean, I'm getting old. I don't want to have to go through the parking lot and then have to go wait in line and then go find.
But I bet you if it was to get with a baller, you'd be doing it. I mean, look at all the ones that go to the game just to rack up a baller.
Oh yeah, that's 20 years ago, maybe, right? Where the stilettos and you clunking through the court, barely can walk on them. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be doing all that.
Lizzo dropping it like it's hot during halftime with the Laker girl with no draws.
No, sir. No draws on. No, sir. No, sir. No. I mean, there might be some ballers there. A baller gonna have to say, Demetra home. Y'all think I'm playing? I don't hardly leave this house. I leave this house for a few reasons. That's it. Because them folks out there are cuckoo bananas. They ain't wrapped too tight. I don't understand what's going on with the driving out here in Houston. It's like being on the Indy 500 a racetrack. These people are nuts. And then, they want you to run the light. They honking at you and stuff. It's like, wait a minute, the light is red. What you want me to do? So yeah, I don't leave the house much. Let's see here. I know we're about to get out of here. Diana says, I support my sister in other ways. Sports just not my thing. Yeah, it ain't my thing either. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like to watch them. It's just, I don't like to watch a whole lot of things lately. It's a chore to even get me to watch TV. K Hawley says, you're not missing anything by not watching. Easy says, I would rather watch baseball. Yeah, that's me too. I like baseball.
Well, I will say this, and even though I do watch WNBA, it is a very hard watch. Missed layups, air balls. It's horrible. It is horrible. And again, if you guys actually sat there and watched the game, and when you hear these players talk about, we should get equal pay because we play the same sport, it's not the same sport. It's totally not. Totally not. So,
I mean, I take your word for it. Like I said, I've gone a couple of times or whatever. Hey, Albie, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, easy. That none of the freeways are friendly. Not one of them. They're all horrible. The drivers are horrible here. Not that they're horrible, but their driving is horrible. It's like, wow. And out here in Houston, they like to get the pew-pews out if you make them too mad, right? I read a story when I first moved here. Some sisters was having road rage, and one followed the other one home, and they got to shooting over a lane change. You taking people off the earth over a lane change? I tell my daughter, I said, let them fools be fools. You don't have to be a fool with them. We trying to get home, okay? That's all we care about. Miss Sweet says, I watch it here and there, but a little women, LA has my attention. All right, so anyway, we gonna get out easy. We're gonna get out of here. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I think we'll be here tomorrow. I have to run to the airport, drop my daughter off I think she's leaving. I forget what time she's leaving, but I think we'll be here. So Donovan will really have to stick to the time if we're going to be on here. As I said to y'all, why am I whispering? As I said to y'all, we're supposed to have somebody coming on here. He was going to, I haven't heard from him, so I don't know what's going to go on. I'm going to give y'all a heads up, okay? If he comes on here, I already told Donovan about it. He's writing this book, and I won't tell y'all the name of the book until he gets here. But one of the chapters of the book, he wants to explain to us why slavery actually wasn't bad for us. It's supposed to be a debate.
Well, we were employed.
That's kind of where he was going with that.
You were 100% employment. That was for sure.
So he was like, are you afraid? I said, afraid of what? I said, oh no, homie. I'm not gonna take it easy on you. I said, and neither will my other homies in the comment section. We ain't gonna take it easy on you. Ain't gonna get up here and just be saying stuff. We want you to back it up. So it sounds like, I don't know, maybe I think when I say they, him and, the people he came with, they like Thomas so well. So I don't know if that's where they're going with it, but I'm like, I just want you to know right off the top, you'll never ever convince me that slavery was a net positive for us. So anyway.
Right. And real quick, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News channel. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you guys want to donate, that is the way you guys can donate. Also, please check out Miss Sweet Talk's YouTube channel and your Average Logical Thinkers channel. And if you guys have a channel that puts out some kind of information, please go check out each other's YouTube page and become members. We got to support each other. That's how this thing works. So.
Yep. So y'all, when he come on here, I'm gonna need y'all to put on your thinking caps, because we gonna see what he got to say if he comes on. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Y'all please have a great rest of your evening, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.